Morning on my blue collar workers, on my YouTubers. It's another morning on the job site. Friday. Actually took a day off tomorrow, so we're gonna go check out this Renaissance Festival, I guess. But I just figured I'd post a little something. I ain't been posting much lately. I kind of been busy. Me and one other journeyman, we're kind of doing the job of 4 people right now, so we got a lot of piping to do. It's been a lot of figuring out, a lot of math and trying to figure out these weird angles. But so we had one foreman had drug up, went to a different spot. Another foreman, he had got sent down to Iowa for a job for a few weeks. He just came back yesterday. Kind of made me think about some things that made me want to make a little video talk about. So when he went down there, he was at the contractor I'm with. They got jobs all over, like not just in Minnesota. So that's a good thing about them, because if they send you out when you're union, if they send you out, Minnesota has a higher scale than a lot of other unions. We got one of the best packages in the nation, and we also have paramedic benefits. So if you work overtime or double time, your package also does 1.5 or 2 times. So that's kind of rare nowadays. Anyway, so he got sent down to Iowa. There's a bunch of guys down there from Iowa. There's probably some other guys that were from, I don't know, somewhere else too. Probably some travelers. I don't know the whole story, but he came back and told us part of it. He said that job's running real bad. It's a big job. It's for Cargill, I think, which they're a huge company, and they're one of the only big companies down there that employs union fitters or construction workers in general. So I guess down there in Iowa, I guess the union workers down there is making a bad rap for everybody because they don't want to work. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. The foreman said that, he had guys down there, they would just stand around. Like, you kind of got to realize when you get in a good situation, like, when you get a blessing, you got to take advantage of it. You can't take advantage of it in a negative way. You got to make it work for you so you can maintain that. So as a union member, we make above average pay. Now, there's reasons for that. We negotiate for it. We fight for it because we feel we have the training necessary to justify that amount of pay. There's some guys that get in and they just want to get the money and they don't want to do the work. Or they feel like, I guess it's just a selfish way of thinking that, I'm just here to get a check and I don't care about anybody else. I'm not going to do a job. They don't care about the contractor. I've only worked for 3 contractors, but one of them I worked for was horrible, and I've heard other people talk about different contractors they work with that's horrible. So when you get on with a good contractor, like, look, at the end of the day, everybody got to make money, It's not just about, we get our money and screw the contractors. Like, we want them to make money too, because if the contractor's making money, they can get more work. They can get more work, they keep us working. So it's kind of a back and forth. Like, we want the high wages, but we want the contractors we work for to also be successful. And I guess down there, they're not doing that. So they're probably going to end up getting ran out of that job because I guess they're just piping stuff bad. There's all kinds of leaks. It's a stainless job, 10 gauge stainless. I guess they're just, the way they're piping it is just ridiculous. They're going to fill it up and there's holes all over the place. Leaking everywhere. They're running pipe in the racks, which we call a show pipe. When you throw a bunch of pipe up in the rack, but it's not connected, that's show pipe. It looks good, and the bosses, they like to see it, but it doesn't really mean anything because you can have all the pipe in the rack you want until it's connected. It might not even be right. I ran across that on a job. It was Victolic, it's just clamps. It's not welded. So they had all the hangers set, they had all the pipe in the hangers, but none of the fittings were on there. So we went and we had some spare time waiting to do some temp gas. We went and started hooking up the Victolic fittings, and ended up being a bunch of some pieces was short. Well, they didn't have a grooving machine on site, so they had to call the fab shop, have them order the pieces, take 2-3 days to get it. It just turned into a mess. So show pipe it looks good, but it doesn't mean anything. So I guess that's what they were doing down there. They're just throwing pipe in the rack, not putting the valves in, not putting nothing. So then when they go to try to connect it, everything was wrong. So it's just crazy to me because I don't know, I guess I have a different perspective because I came from a lower stage of life. Like, to me, I'm winning right now. I feel like I'm winning. I'm finally working someplace where I feel appreciated, and my hard work is paying off. So it's like for other people to be just take advantage of that, and they're gonna end up, they ain't gonna end up having no union jobs down there. Like, if you working like that, there's already people that don't like union, and that's the word that people get when they don't like unions. Oh, they're just lazy, they don't want to do the work. And yeah, it can be like that some places, I guess. Minnesota, fortunately, with the pipe trades at least, it's not like that. We got a good reputation. We do good work. We feel like we're one of the higher skilled trades. We have the most licenses in the state. We have a long training process, 5-year apprenticeship. So yeah, man, I don't know. It's just something to think about. Like, I know everybody's gonna have a different situation with different jobs that they're on, how they feel about their employers, but I know for me, it's benefited me to have a good attitude and try to always be on time, ready to work, never afraid to stay late. Now, if I'm staying late, I'm getting paid for it. I ain't staying late and working for free. But I will stay late. Like, if there's something that's going on, like, I'll make the adjustment to stay late and work late as long as I'm getting paid for it, or I'll come in early as long as I'm getting paid for it. And that's taken me a long way. So I'm a third-year apprentice. I ain't even started school for third year. I think I started school September 9th. So I haven't even started school. So I'm fresh third-year apprentice. I'm getting paid fourth-year wages because I'm welding, but at the end of the day, I'm still a third-year apprentice. Like, I just know enough to be dangerous. Like, most of these guys all know way more than me. But they got me working with one older journeyman. We got kind of a large area to pipe. Like, just me and him. So basically, he's doing most of the fitting, and I'm helping doing a lot of the layout, and I'm doing all the welding. And we're making good progress. I think we're doing really good for just having two guys, to be honest with you. Plus, he's older, you know what I mean? So it's only 4-inch pipe. It's not super heavy, but when you're trying to throw it up in racks, I think our pipe hangers, our racks are like 6'8" or something like that. There's about just under 7 foot. So throwing a stick of 4-inch up in that, two people, it's a little bit challenging, but it's not terrible. I've done worse. So the other day, we were talking to the general foreman. He came up there and was looking. We were asking about where our offsets are running to these rooftop units. So he's showing us, and sure enough, right where the pipe got to go, there's a pallet with a bunch of the stands and the rubber blocks for the hangers, for the rooftop hangers. So I made a comment like, dang, we got to move that pallet again. We already moved it once. Now we got to move it again because it's right in our way. There's not a lot of room up there, not a lot of open rooftop area to set things down. He's like, well, I'll send a couple apprentices up there to move it for you. And I was like, well, you know I'm an apprentice, right? Like, I can move it. He's like, nah, you just keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to send some apprentices. So that was kind of, I felt like that was a pretty big compliment coming from the general foreman, that he would think that I'm worth more than just being able to move some stuff around. And today, like I said, I'm an apprentice too, but I definitely try to apply myself at a higher rate, and I'm doing a lot of more advanced things than other people on the job site that are apprentices. So I don't know. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm just trying harder. Like, for me, it's all about the money. I'm trying to advance. I'm trying to, whatever I can do to fast track this to get to the journeyman wages and foreman wages. Like, I'm just trying to work, man. So I don't know. I just feel like that's a blessing. And it was kind of disappointing to hear that there's other union members out there that don't take the job as seriously. Like, I know everybody got their own life. They're going to do what they're going to do. They got their own priorities. But for me, I'm so excited to have an actual career. Like, I finally figured out there is a difference between a job and a career. A job is just something you do to make some money, and it never feels like it's forever. Like, how many people have worked a job and it's like, you know you ain't going to work there forever. Like, you ain't going to retire from there. The career thing, that's kind of something that I always just kind of took for granted and didn't really think was something real. But now in the pipe fitting trades, like I definitely know like this is what I'm gonna be doing till I retire. If I'm gonna be doing this for that long a time, I better be putting myself in the best position possible to be able to advance and be able to get to the top of my scale. So that's just kind of something I've been thinking about. Probably a boring video. It's not really much, but there's just something I was thinking about. Like, there's really people out there that get blessings that they don't even acknowledge, or they don't even realize that they're blessed. Like, it doesn't matter how good you're doing. There's always going to be struggles. There's always going to be problems. Everything ain't always perfect. Right now, they rebuilding my garage. Somebody ran my garage and ran into it, and I got to pay $1,000 deductible. That $1,000 could have went somewhere way better, but at the end of the day, I guess I'll have my garage fixed, whatever. So, just everybody just need to be a little bit humble. Like, if you get blessed, just recognize that blessing. And if you recognize that blessing, that's going to give you a better frame of mind. You're going to be able to be more positive. And at the end of the day, the more positive you can be, the more happiness you're going to have. Because if you're just negative all the time and just complaining about everything, you're just making yourself miserable. You're dragging it down. Like, there's only so much things you can control, man. And you just kind of got to work yourself through the hard times and try to keep that good, positive mentality, and it's always going to get better. The sun always comes up in the morning. The rain always stops at some time, you know what I mean? So you just got to struggle through the tough times and try to keep a smile on your face. And when people's hating on you, that's the best thing you can do, is just smile back at them. Because end of the day, all we got is what we can do with ourselves. So I don't know. That's just a little thought for me for today. So I hope everybody out there having a good day. Hope everybody getting that money. Hope everybody trying to advance themselves, live to your highest potential. And I'll see y'all later.